here's my audience, and Tina's voice. Okay. So, have you ever wondered if the voices inside your head are actually there? Well, this pretty known possibility is explained here in Inside Out. So these voices inside your head are depicted as 5 emotions, which are joy, sadness, fear, anger, and probably my favorite, disgust. And everybody can relate to this movie, one way or another, unlike many animated movies, because each one of us, since we're all human here, we have emotions, and every day is full of emotions. So everybody can relate to this movie and how emotions and memories make up who we are. And although this movie seems to be pretty juvenile, at first it has 2 pretty profound themes. One being, we are the sum total of everything we've experienced, and also the overarching theme of change. So let's first talk about you are the sum total of your experiences. That is pretty much the whole basis for this movie. Everything that everyone has experienced is put into these memory spheres. I don't know if y'all can see that, but each memory is put into a sphere color-coded according to the emotion that is brought along with that memory. So let's say that you have a memory of you and your family playing, let's say in the pool, and you're playing volleyball together and maybe pushing each other around, pushing each other in the pool, having a good time. Maybe that can even become a core memory, which is a defining memory of yours, making who you are who you are. And maybe that could even power what they call a personality island, which would be family island, which defines your relationship as a family. And so that would obviously be a positive memory, which would construct this island. And other memories could also deconstruct these islands and even damage them and break them. So all these memories can make you who you are. And the second theme is change. There are many examples of change throughout this movie, and one of them being how you view a memory itself. Maybe with one example, you see the memory being a source of anger. However, with time, maybe you see the beauty in it, and maybe it makes you happy. So let's go with a better example. Let's say that you are in Australia and that's your home. That's where you grew up, that's where you have a sense of belonging. And let's say you have a best friend and you decide to go out on a water park and you're having a great time. Maybe later you have some girl talk, just doing your own thing, having an amazing time. And a week later, you're thinking about how you want to go with your friend again to that water park, your favorite water park, and have that great time again, and just whenever you're thinking about it, it makes you excited and happy. And then let's say maybe a year later you move, and you don't have that best friend anymore, and you can't go to your favorite water park, you can't have those girl talks anymore. Then thinking back on those times that you had, it probably wouldn't make you feel the same source of happiness you once saw, but it may make you feel kind of remorseful, and sadness starts to creep in. And this is exactly what's depicted by sadness throughout the movie whenever sadness changes the color of the memory sphere to blue. So sadness begins to pollute happy memories with her touch, as Nick Pinkerton says in one of his film reviews quite concisely. So a memory that used to be a source of joy is now a source of sadness. And another example of change is even seen in the character of Sadness herself. At first, she reminds me a bit of Eeyore in Winnie the Pooh, how she doesn't really command anything anything. Doesn't really have a sense of direction. She's just being counterproductive to everybody's desire to be helping Riley. She's kind of to the contrary and just bringing everybody down. However, towards the end of the movie, whenever Riley is emotionally unstable and she had a very bad first day at school, she's not liking her new home, and she's even contemplating on running away, and she's on the bus, and she only can feel fearful or angry or disgusted. Then sadness comes in, and she reminds Riley who she is, lets her feel remorse on what she's doing, and allows her to have a sense of basically redemption to bring her back home and have that change of heart. And it's because of sadness that this was able to happen. And there are plenty of other examples of change throughout the movie, like the imaginary friend being in the pit of nothingness, and that's basically showing how he's forgotten and how Riley's moving on from childhood, having her imaginary friend, to puberty and adulthood. So plenty of other examples of changes. So these two themes are very, very profound in this movie and give us the residual value that we have today with this movie. And a clip will help visualize this. So let me get this full screen. And at first the music's kind of cheesy, so I'll turn that down. Okay. So here's sadness, like I was talking about, getting the memories, changing them from a source of happiness to a source of remorse.
She doesn't look happy.
Mm-mm. And she's showing Riley all that she's been through, reminding her who she is. So that short clip shows these two themes pretty much wrapped up in maybe 20 or 30 seconds. But the main thing to get away from this movie is how we differ from this movie and how we can choose our emotions. We shouldn't be primitive enough, like this movie depicts, to let our emotions completely control us and tell us how we're going to respond to each and every given situation. But we can choose how we respond to situations and hopefully have a certain filter to help us be more positive people and see our current situations in a better light. And here is my works cited, just to avoid plagiarism and to support what I have said. Thank you.